The Rams surrender a 16-point fourth quarter lead in what should go down as the NFL's game of the year. The game did not detract from the fact that Puka Nacua already had a horrible, no good, very bad day, and a report suggests that Penn State wants to hire USC's defensive coordinator. Good morning. I'm James. And this is your daily dose of sports and snark for the greatest sports city in the world, Los Angeles. This is the Faithful Angelenos Morning Report. It is December 19, 2025. We added a new subscriber to the Angeleno Familia yesterday. Thank you. We're going to do our best to keep you informed. And if you like being in the know about LA sports, clickety-clack the like button. Clickety-clack the subscribe button. There's a notification bell. Hit that. It'll let you know when we drop an update. Sharing is caring. Let people know we exist. By all means, comment. Now, we have an expanded look at the scoreboard during football season. So we begin with Seattle 38, Rams 37 in overtime. This had Rams versus Chiefs on Monday Night Football in 2018 vibes all over it. The game was a lot of fun to watch, especially because the Rams were pretty much playing with house money. They had already assured themselves of their playoff spot. But we still deal with reality on this channel. The Rams had no business losing a 16-point fourth quarter lead. The Rams defense, which was harassing Sam Darnold for 3 quarters, 4 sacks, 2 picks. They had no business giving up back-to-back 2-point conversions in the Seahawks rally. The plane ride should be turbulent, not due to the weather, but Rams defensive players kicking themselves. I mean, for Pete's sake, the offense dropped an overtime touchdown. Seattle marched to the field, got a touchdown of their own, plus the 2-pointer to walk it off. But how hard really should we be on the Rams? Because they did a lot of amazing things. For example, Matthew Stafford passed for 457 yards, 3 touchdowns without Davante Adams. Puka Nacua needed to be on the field because off it, he obviously had a trash week. We'll talk more about that in a minute. Nacua caught 12 passes for 225 yards and 2 touchdowns. But the reality is this. The Rams are no longer in control of winning the NFC West or keeping the top spot in the conference, which would include home field advantage up to the Super Bowl. Now, I would argue they have a significantly easier schedule than Seattle. They're going to play Arizona and Atlanta. Meanwhile, Seattle has to play scum Francisco. But winning last night would have pretty much sealed the deal. If you're a glass half full kind of guy, you could still say, well, hell, Seattle, they needed a miracle rally to win at home. And I don't take issue if that's what you're telling yourself. But in the real world, the Rams don't control their own destiny in terms of their playoff seeding. Also last night, the Lakers defeated Utah 143-135. Oklahoma City pounded the Clippers 122-101. And the Kings edged Tampon Bay 2-1. Adrian Kempe scored twice. Meanwhile, today, Cal Poly SLO, San Luis Obispo, is at UCLA at 7 o'clock. So with that out of the way, what do you say we get to the news? And get back to the Rams. Wednesday, the Rams charter flight to Seattle was delayed due to mechanical issues. And frankly, it wouldn't surprise me if Puka Nacua was on the tarmac yelling, "What's the holdup?" Because if there was anybody who wanted wheels up, if there was anybody who needed to skedaddle for a couple of days, it was Nacua. I mean, you can talk all the crap about LA you want. Seattle has every problem that LA has, plus more rain to lift Noah's Ark. But Nacua must have seen going to Seattle as, I don't know, Cancun. Because the dude's entire life has been getting dragged for the last 48 hours. We've already discussed how Nacua thinks the refs are bigger attention tramps than Jasmine Crockett. Then yesterday, dude's personal life totally melted down. First, his own brother got popped for allegedly stealing a car from Lakers rookie Adu Thero. Samson Nacua, hell of a first name I might add, played for BYU, had a cup of coffee with the UFL, and then landed a gig as a hotel valet. That's a career. Stay in school, kids. The more you know. I suppose, though, what Samson Nacua lacked as a player is situational awareness. It didn't show up on any scouting report. But the reason situational awareness matters, not just in football, but in life, if you're allegedly going to be a car thief, you could get away with stealing a lot of people's cars in this world. But you don't steal a Lakers player's car in Los Angeles. What do you could push my grandma down a flight of stairs. The LAPD will totally look the other way. But if you take a random Laker player's car, we will demand justice and take it to the streets. It doesn't matter that the Dodgers have become more popular than the Lakers. We still love the Lakers. Don't steal a Laker player's car. It doesn't even matter that Thero has played only 9 games in his career. People will care. It doesn't matter what Lakers player it is, past or present. You could steal Adam Morrison's Hyundai and people will care. Hello, 911, may I help you? Yeah, my car's been stolen. Well, sir, you need to come to the precinct, fill out a report. I'm Smush Parker. Crap, I'll put out an APB. So sorry, we're on it. All you have to be is a Lakers player. Seriously, you could steal Robert Sacre's Chevy Malibu and 5 minutes later, you're going to be on TV in a breaking news police chase. Don't steal a Laker player's car. Then you get away with it. Just saying. Meanwhile, Puka Nacua had to apologize because he allegedly auditioned for the debut of a new reality show, Dancing with the Anti-Semites. He was asked by a social media influencer to do a special touchdown celebration. And it is a dance that is apparently anti-Semitic. I say apparently because what do I know? Right? My days of dancing more or less ended with the stanky leg. I mean, all these dances and all their hidden meanings. I never once asked somebody to watch me whip or watch me nay-nay. I don't even know if I want to pop and lock for anybody. So I have no idea what makes this dance anti-Semitic. But I will say this, the next social media influencer I meet that's a good person will be the first social media influencer that I meet that's a good person. Nacua said he didn't realize the dance was meant to mock or offend Jewish people, and I'll take him at his word, because again, how the hell would I know, right? But dude, bad look. Just a bad look. There's a reason that this influencer, this Aiden Ross character, was banned from Twitch. You should have known that. Not to mention this exhibitionist was thrown out of the Rams practice facility. Choose your social media influencers wisely, folks. My dad always said that to me when I was in grade school. Well, it couldn't just be the players leaving USC football, right? CBSSports.com reported Penn State has cast a loving, heartfelt gaze on Trojans defensive coordinator D'Anton Lynn. And some Trojans bloggers are freaking out because there is a connection. Lynn played college ball at Penn State. Now, Lynn became a hot candidate when, in his first year as anybody's defensive coordinator, he coached a top 10 defense at UCLA. Lincoln Riley took note, poached Lynn from his crosstown rivals. Now, Lynn's results with the Trojans have been somewhat of a mixed bag. They were ranked in the mid-40s nationally in points conceded and yards allowed this last season. So, from trash to above mid. So the question becomes, how seriously should we take this story? Kinda. The reason I'm not tripping that much is because Lynn returning to Penn State is a story that has surfaced before. Okay? USC then ponied up more money to keep him. It's very possible that this is a play to get more cash. Moreover, the Nittany Lions didn't have the top recruiting class in the country. USC did. Now, what this tells me is the Trojans have the resources and the incoming talent to make this an extremely attractive job for Lynn, or if he leaves, for whoever the hell else they decide to hire. Having said that, of course, the players are continuing to bolt. Corner DeCarlos Nicholson declared for the NFL draft. He picked off a pass last year, 26 solo tackles. But the bigger news in terms of the portal is this. For all the talk we've been having on this channel about players leaving the Trojans, their Alamo Bowl opponent's starting quarterback is leaving. TCU quarterback Josh Hoover threw for more than 8,500 yards in 2 years leading the Horned Frogs. Now, we don't know if he's still going to play in the Alamo Bowl. He hasn't necessarily pulled out of that. There are viewers of this channel who have been getting on me a little for talking about who leaves SC. Look, I have my opinions on the portal, on the state of college football. We all do. I've shared mine before. Perhaps soon when I don't have these many topics, I'll bring it up again just so we can all touch base. I'm not trying to say USC is like the Hindenburg going up in flames. But it doesn't matter to me if as many players are leaving other schools as they do USC. USC means something. That's my point. The Lakers' Gabe Vincent is expected to miss a week with lower back tightness. They were down 3 players in Utah, but it's Utah. Meanwhile, back at USC, in the wake of losing 2 basketball players for the season, including their second leading scorer, the Trojans took an unusual step of adding to their roster midseason. Robert Morris transfer guard Cam Woods will join his 5th college program. He averaged almost 15 points per game for Robert Morris, or as the kids on the streets say, Bob Mo. That team, by the way, made the NCAA tournament. So maybe it's not that big of a loss. If you recall the beginning of the NFL season, the Chargers flipped the script on the league. They kept saying we are going to establish the run at all costs, and then they let Justin Herbert whip the ball all over the field. Well, now that he has no offensive line protection, let alone a functioning left hand, the Bolts reverted back to type. In their current 3-game winning streak, they've run the ball 110 times and passed just 76. Now, it will be curious to see if this trend holds up against their next opponent in Dallas. The Cowboys are buck naked last in passing yards allowed per game. Here's a goofy little story. One website, is claiming that the Clippers are rejecting trade offers for Kawhi Leonard, James Harden, and Ivica Zubac. The website, by the way, is known in that journalism hotbed of Dallas, Texas. But that was enough. A website half the continent away. The Clippers bloggers blew this up for clickbait porn. Oh, they're going to tear down the team. This is the easiest content to create. You don't even have to prove anything. We assume general managers are calling each other every day to test the waters on potential trades. Look at Golden State and the Lakers. couple of years ago, the Warriors called the Lakers about LeBron James. ESPN is still trying to manifest that trade years later, even though the Lakers told Golden State to go take a flying leap off their bridge. So instead of amplifying this as a hot, moist Clippers rumor, let's pause and remember what opposing GMs said about the players. Harden has a history of forcing trades. Houston to Brooklyn, Brooklyn to Philly, Philly to LA. He forces trades. He doesn't passively accept them. If Harden wants out, he'll make an ass of himself until he gets his way. Leonard, meanwhile, is so toxic due to his injury history and his current pay scandal that he has negative trade value. And that leaves Zubac as the only valuable trade commodity. So you won't get much for Harden. You'll get even less for Kawhi Leonard. You're going to blow the franchise back for years by trading away your only legit commodity? Common sense tells you this is a foolish story. It just is. But you let me know what you think in the comments thread. If you're a Rams fan, are you still angry over what happened in Seattle? Did you go sleepless over Seattle, for that matter? And by the way, do you believe that Danton Lin is going to head east? And if you enjoyed this update, don't forget to subscribe to Faithful Angelenos. We're talking LA sports every single day. Thank you for watching. I'm James, and we'll be back tomorrow. Faithful Angelenos is a Kian Corte El Queso production. Take care.